Picture this, a chatbot that's not only highly detailed but harness the powers of advanced artificial intelligence features. It's not your ordinary bot. It engages users seamlessly, providing an experience beyond expectations. And guess what? It goes way beyond just asking questions. It offers multiple different options, making the interactions truly dynamic. Now, why does this matter? In this tutorial, I'm not just going to show you how to build a chatbot. I'm going to guide you through the creation of a bot which replicates this powerhouse. You'll gain inspiration for your own bot builds and witness firsthand how I bring this advanced chatbot to life. The future of customer interactions is just a tutorial away. So this chatbot is going to be very detailed and complex. It is going to contain a hub with different flow options for different types of questions. It is going to contain AI transitions as well as AI tasks and a personality agent. I spent 3 whole days during vacation building this bot out for you. So I would highly appreciate it if you like this video. Comment what type of videos you want to see next on my channel. But now, let's start bot building. So for starters, I'm just going to add a welcome node. So I'm going to select a standard node. I'm naming this welcome. And I'm just going to add a text card and type in my simple welcome message. And for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to use emojis. So I'm selecting this emoji and I'm typing. So here we have our welcome message. And I'm going to connect these nodes. And now I'm actually going to create the hub. So I'm connecting and I'm naming this node hub. And here in the hub, I want the user to be able to select which flow they want to go in. So when I add my card here, I'm actually going to select a single choice card. And I'm going to ask the user, what would you like help with? What would you like help with? And I have 4 different options. So I'm pressing this plus button, so we have 4 choices. Firstly, I'm going to add recommendations. And then I'm just going to find this emoji real quick. And then this is going to be about us. And questions. Ask a question. Or quit. So here we have our different options. And I'm going to have a different flow for each and every one of these. But we're actually going to start off with recommendations. So this is actually the most difficult node inside of the whole bot build. So I'm going to add a new node and I'm naming this one recommendations. And I'm adding a raw input card. Where I can find it. Raw input. I'm connecting these nodes, and inside of this node I want to deselect this answered questions, and I'm going to ask what type of product are you looking for? Question mark. I'm going to create a variable which is going to be called user_product, and I'm storing the result inside of this variable. And then I can go out and add in an AI task card, and inside of the task instructions I'm just going to paste my prompt, which I have already done, but you are going to rewrite the variable user_product to only unknown of a product similar to the user input. If the input is already just a product, do nothing. And for the task input, I'm selecting the user product variable, and I'm storing inside of bot recommendation. So bot underscore recommendation, create a variable, it's a string, save. So we're storing bot recommendation. And I'm also going to add task examples. So firstly, I'm going to say, can you recommend me a sofa? And this is example for an input. So if the user asks the bot, can you recommend me a sofa? It's just going to rewrite it to a sofa. And another example. So if the user asks, just types a dining table, we don't want the bot to do anything. So I'm typing in here a dining table. So you see the difference. So if the user types in, can you recommend me a sofa? I just want the bot to take out a sofa, so only the product. But if the user just says a product, we want the bot to say the product. So don't change anything. So we have the task example here finished. And now we're going to add a query knowledge base card. So, and inside of this, I want the bot to search or query what we came up with in the AI task. So I'm just going to add the variable bot underscore recommendation. So that is the product. And I'm going to store this inside of a variable named query. And now we want to show the message or the recommendation inside of a message. So we have to type it out in the chat. And then we have to make a prompt here, which is going to be turn.knowledge agent, which essentially refers to the knowledge agent, and then dot answer. So just type this in, and it is going to display in the chat what the query came up with. And now we're going to add two different expressions, so flows, to this node. So just that, firstly we're going to add an expression and then an AI transition. So if we start with this first one, this is going to be for if the knowledge agent finds an answer inside of the query. So if you ask the bot for a sofa and it recommends a sofa, it is going to follow this particular flow. So I'm just going to name this does know, because the knowledge agent does know. And I'm going to type in this condition, so turn.knowledge agent.responded equals true. So if the knowledge agent responds, follow this path. And then in the AI transition, this is actually a bit more difficult. So this is if the bot don't have anything to recommend, and it's going to categorize the user product, so which is essentially the user's input into the chatbot. And we're going to add 4 different categories. So a product, a question for a recommendation, a random question, or anything else. So I'm just going to connect these now. So the does know is going to go right back to the hub. So if the bot answers, it is going back to the hub. So the user can do anything else if they would like to. But now I'm going to create 2 new nodes for these ones. So for the AI transition. And the first 2 options is going to be going to the top node, and the other 2 are going to the bottom node. And this one I'm going to name fallback. So I'm adding a text card and we want to tell the user I do not know about that product. And then we're adding a boolean, and I'm asking the user, do you want to ask again? Yes or no? The yes option is going right back into the recommendations. Make sure that you turn this off, by the way. And the no is going to a other questions node, which we're adding later. And for this node, I'm going to name this no product, which is essentially if the user asks something which is not a product. So if they ask a random question or just type something random in general, we want the bot to say that was not a product. So I'm just selecting a basic text card, and I tell the bot, or I send to the user, it seems like that was something other than a ask and than a request for a product. ... And now we want to create the other questions node. So when it goes here or goes no here, we want to ask the user if they have any other questions. So if they essentially want to go back to the hub or not. So I'm selecting a boolean, turning off answer from the knowledge agent. Yes or no? No to the end, and yes connecting it to the hub. So there we have it. The recommendations is complete, but now I can showcase it for you all. So I'm saying, hi, I want help with recommendations, please. I am looking for a sofa. So the sleek Scandinavian sofa is a luxurious sofa with clean lines, plush cushions, blah 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 blah. And price is $800. But in Sweden we have 8,000 kronor. So here you can see the variables. The user product, which is what I'm putting in. I'm looking for a sofa. The bot changes my input to only just sofa, and then it queries the knowledge base for the sleek Scandinavian sofa. And since it do know, it goes back to the hub. So I can select quit, ask question, about us, etc. Moving on to the about us section. This is just going to be made of one node with two different text cards. So it is going to be very easy to do. About us. Connect them and the text card. And I'm just going to paste my messages. So the first one, welcome to Nordic Style, your go-to destination, blah 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 blah. So yeah, and the second card, add a new text card and send another message. And then go right back to the hub. So here we have the about us. So if we start, press about us, it's just going to say some information about the company. So now we're moving into the question part, which is going to be built using two nodes, and one of which is going to be a loop, so where the user can ask unlimited questions. So firstly, add a node, questions, connecting these two ask questions to the questions node. I'm adding a text message. I am typing. Okay, and now I'm adding a raw input card. Make sure that answer questions from knowledge base is enabled. I am asking the user, what do you want to know? I am storing my result in the user underscore question variable. And then I'm going to AI task, and I am typing inside of the task instructions. Listen carefully, because this is going to make or break your chatbot. You can mix around and change it to your liking if you want to, but this is what I found working the absolute best. So go through the answer from the knowledge agent. If the answer is complete, do nothing, and store the answer inside of the variable. If there is no answer, come up with a way to tell the user that you cannot find an answer to their question. And the task input, I'm firstly going to add the user question. I'm selecting the user question variable, and then I'm adding the knowledge agent, which is as earlier, turn dot knowledge agent dot answer. And then I want to create a new variable called AI answer, which is a string, and I'm storing the result inside of the AI answer. And then guess what I'm doing? Text card and the AI answer. And then I will add an expression, set on always true, and go to my loop node. So I'm naming this questions loop. So now we're going to the loop. So when the user asks their first question, they come inside of here, they got an answer, and then we go to the loop. So firstly, I'm going to add a raw input card, and I'm asking, you can continue by asking another question or press proceed to go towards the exit. I am storing my result inside a new variable called user underscore loop, and I am going to add a choice here with an item. I'm just copying this and putting this inside of the choice. So here we have our proceed, and I am going to drag this to the other questions node. So what the user can do now is that they can either press the proceed and continue towards the exit, or they can ask a question again. And now I'm just adding an AI task. This AI task is going to be a bit different than the previous one, so stick with me again. So here we have the task instruction. It's a bit different. I added some things towards the end, and as you can probably tell, I'm going to add a bit more to the task input again, but I'm going to start with the user question, which is the user loop variable, and the knowledge agent answer, which is the same again, which is turn.knowledgeagent.answer, and the previous user message, which is event.preview, and the transcript, which is conversation.summaryagent.transcript. So here we have the full task input, and I'm going to store the variable inside of the same, or store the result inside of the same variable, which is AI answer variable. And I'm adding an text card, adding the AI answer, and then I'm adding an expression on always true and taking it back towards the loop. So there we have the questions loop finished again, and the only thing left to do is to add an outro node. So I'm going to name this outro. I'm adding a text card. Okay, happy shopping. I am actually going to take the node to the outro and then go to the end, and I'm also dragging the quit from the hub to the outro again. We were supposed to be finished, but we have one major thing left to add, which is going to be the personality agent. So I'm going to the personality agent. Make sure that you enable it, and I have already a description. I'm just pasting it in. You are a customer support assistant to a home decor brand called Nordic Style. Your main goal is to assist the user and be as helpful as possible. Your messages and responses should be friendly and helpful while trying your best to keep them as short as possible while containing the most useful information. So our personality agent is complete, and let's just try the bot out. So one last thing, we're just going to add a query knowledge agent, and I'm going to add the user question inside of the query, user question, and do the same inside of the questions loop. So add a query and then user underscore loop for this one. So there we have it. So if you were to try the bot out, just come inside of the emulator, type in hey. I will ask for recommendation. Can you recommend me a dining table? So the Nordic oak dining table. I'm going to ask the question. How is the shipping? How is your shipping time and cost? So how is your shipping time and cost? So standard shipping takes 3 to 5 business days. Faster 1 to 2 business days. And feel free to ask another question or click on this to proceed towards the exit. I will proceed. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? Yes, I want to hear about us. And we have these messages, and now I feel completely satisfied with this testing, and we're heading towards the exit. Thank you all so much for watching. But before you click off, I just want to tell you one thing. I have a lot more complicated bot building videos that I will post in the near future. But before I post, I want you guys to be as ready as possible. So before you click off, make sure to check this video out. I will see you guys next week. I wish you all a great start to the new years. I will see you guys soon. Take care.